Scott, earlier this year, you and I played a little game called Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown and absolutely loved it. Well, if we weren't done there, DLC is on the way, but on top of that, there's a whole new Prince of Persia game coming too. What? I'm a little shocked, man. I did not expect this.
This is a surprise for me, and I'm right at the end. I have to admit it again. I'm right at the end of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I need to go back.
Final boss fight's tough. Joshua Robertson over at The Gamer. It seems like Prince of Persia games are just like buses. I saw that. I was like, what? You wait ages for one, and then two show up at the same time. Less than 3 months after the release of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, it is being reported that Ubisoft plans on releasing another Prince of Persia game later this year. This time, a roguelite developer by the studio behind the DLC for hit indie title Dead Cells: Evil Empire. This is according to Insider Gaming, who claims that the title is being called the Rogue Prince of Persia. Dude, I'm down for this. And will launch in Steam Early Access at some point later this year. Insider Gaming sources have claimed that the game will receive a constant flow of free updates over time, based on feedback left by the game's community, and that the game has been in development for 4 years, after talks between Evil Empire and Ubisoft at GDC 2019. We don't know much else about the title right now, apart from the game being heavily stylized, just like The Lost Crown, with the art direction taking heavy inspiration from Franco-Belgian comics. Interesting. We'll see. This is gonna be, dude, Prince of Persia roguelike. It seems to be, man, there's so many roguelites coming out. You know, like it's a constant flow of how else can we keep this going? And Dead Cells had an insurmountable amount of DLC drops, and it was great. It kept that whole game going, right? It kept the community going. Can they do the same thing? Will that catch fire here with the Prince of Persia game?
Ooh, it really could, because Prince of Persia is a long-standing IP. I think it does have the chance to really catch fire here. I'm thinking of roguelite. I assume that means we're dealing with a two-dimensional game, just like The Lost Crown was.
Makes me think so. Yeah.
I've not seen anything on that to indicate otherwise, but that would be excellent, because I'm thinking of the last roguelite game that we played. Was that Trinity Fusion, I think? And I played that for so long afterwards. I really, really liked it. And if we're dealing with the kind of combat that was in The Lost Crown, I know I'm going to see this one through. I love that game so much.
Yeah, that's actually
that
Lost
may
Crown's
be my game of the year still.
I was gonna say Lost Crown right now is at my game of the year discussion. It is in my top 5 right now for the year. It's gonna be an interesting year, I think, at the end of the day. But I'm curious to see what this will look like. Will we see it at Summer Game Fest or the Ubisoft Forward, Scott?
Oh, yes, possibly. And talking about a stealth drop, that would be a great time for us. I'm just looking for a stealth drop at every opportunity. It kind of defeats the purpose.
Early access, right? They could line up, or they probably give us a release date, early access date to jump in. I think that's the one that's coming. That we'll get an actual date. Hey, here it comes. This is what you're going to get into. I don't think they do a stealth drop. I think, like I said in the previous article, is that they do it with X-Defiant. Give us that stealth drop because it is a free-to-play title, where here you're going to have to probably go in and you're going to pay for it, right? Early access typically isn't free. It's not like going into Fortnite and the early beta and all that kind of stuff. It is a little bit different here. And I think Ubisoft wants to capitalize on the opportunity that they can present here to the fans. Everybody who jumped into The Lost Crown and loved it like we did, dude, we're going to be right there too, right? Like that's the other side of it. We're going to be there for this. We want to check this out. Very curious on the art style, because I checked out Franco's art, and it's very unique. It's very cool. So I'm curious to see how well that plays over into a Prince of Persia game. Who do we play as the prince?
That's what I was thinking. Is this going to be a Dark Prince Returns? But
can you imagine?
We weren't the same. We weren't the same character at all in The Lost Crown. So I'm wondering if it'll be kind of paired with that in some sort of way, or is this how we introduce the Dark Prince and go back in time, the sands of time, and reintroduce that remaster?
Do we see that remaster at all at Ubisoft Forward?
I really hope so, just because the more I sit and think about Prince of Persia, the more those memories come flowing back, and I love it.
Yeah, it was such a great game. Hopefully they don't screw that up. But when we get into this roguelike, it's the Roguelite is a pretty cool concept that I really do enjoy. So I'm curious to see if this one's going to hit. Will it stick?
Is it just going to be a boss rush kind of thing, or is this going to be a little bit more of a drawn out build process? I'm very curious to see.